Hi, I'm Pastor Grant, the chaplain at Country House in Wilmington, Delaware. This week, we crossed a date that is forever etched in the national memory of the United States, and for that matter, the world. It's known to all of us by three numbers. We call it 9/11. At 7:30 that night of September 11, 2001, millions of Americans met in a place of worship to pray. This was in response to the horror and confusion that hit our country. With calculated and unconsolable malice, beastly terrorists stabbed our nation repeatedly in the heart. At the World Trade Center in New York, at the Pentagon in Wilmington, D.C., and along a quiet countryside in South Pennsylvania. The president addressed the nation in a speech that would be watched by the world. One statement he made stood out then, and it still stands out today. He said, "Terrorist attack can shake the foundation of our biggest buildings, but they cannot touch the foundation of America." As we remember that statement, I'm also reminded of the words of David in Psalm 11. He wrote in Psalm 11, probably while being hunted by King Saul. With a borderline insane paranoia, King Saul had begun seeking David's life, and David was on the run. And as he wrote in the first part of this psalm, he fled as a bird to the mountains. And in that hiding place, momentarily removed from danger, he asked this question: if the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? In verse 3 of Psalm 11. That's a great question. You know, Webster tells us that a foundation is a basis upon which something stands or is supported. Every house, every significant structure, every building has a foundation. The taller the building, the deeper and the more important the foundation must be. This is precisely David's point. He wasn't referring to structures, though, in this psalm. No house or building was in his mind, and there's no reference to such that in the psalm. Instead, the psalmist is talking about life. David was saying that if the foundation of life is destroyed, that life crumbles. But if the foundation remains secure, no amount of stress, and in David's case, no attack by Saul, can cause a life to fracture or crumble. Saul asked David relentlessly, in attempting to bring himself down, "When will I get a hold of you?" But David wasn't brought down, and Saul never got a hold of him because the foundation of his life was strong. If those foundations hadn't been secure, his life would have collapsed, dropped like a sack of salt. How do I know his foundation was secure? Look again at the first verse. Occasionally in the Psalms, we must understand that the whole Psalm message is based on that first sentence, and everything that follows amplifies that first sentence. And in this Psalm, it's just like that. So in Psalm 11, verse 1, it says, "In the Lord I take refuge. How can I say to my soul, flee as a bird to your mountain?" See, David essentially was saying, my soul is not on the run. My spirit is not capsized, because in the Lord I take refuge. A refuge is a place of hiding. It's a place of protection. The ancient Hebrew term used for that is kadash, and it means a protective place that provides safety from that which would hit or hurt or harm. It's a protected shield around danger and distress. And David made it clear that Yahweh was his refuge, because that was true. David could know, and we can know, his foundation was secure, and in the Lord, our foundation is secure. One old country preacher said it this way: "I may tremble on the rock, but the rock didn't tremble under me." He was right. The rock of God is our foundation. It stands firm no matter what. It is our place of refuge, and it will never tremble. Psalm 46:1 states, God is our refuge and our strength. He's a very present help in trouble. I love Luther's song, A Mighty Fortress. He says it so well in that song. A mighty fortress is our God, a bulwark never failing. No matter how insecure or chaotic our lives may be, or for that matter, our times around us may be, no matter if terrorists topple our buildings or kill our fellow citizens, we must choose to live out our faith and our life on that solid foundation of our sovereign God. And only there in Him are we secure. Do as I have done. Make God your firm foundation.